Kak Wei, can you be my secretary? Okay. Okay, Mr. Shin, get the recording. Okay, I'll start share my screen, yeah. Wait, where is that? Yep. Have you guys seen my screen?
Yep.
Wait, I forgot to do this. Wait. Okay. Okay, so I will start this discussion from last week's dependencies. And the first one is from Audrey. Audrey, you kind of lost your voice, but can you deliver something here or just type?
Okay. So I put the MP3 of the sonic branding already in Kak Gani's guideline, the newest guideline. I put it there already, and actually I proposed some extra content to Mas Gani. If I'm not mistaken, I make like intro, like a 15 seconds video related, the one that I try to imply with the sonic branding, and I guess it can be used as like an introduction sound, like every time before we start our meeting. That way, the MP4 one, yeah. I hope it is audible for everyone.
Okay, let's try, yeah.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Okay.
But is this the last one's sound?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, I guess I have my internet connection is not that good because it keeps lagging. Yep. Okay. But I think everybody have heard it yesterday. So what do you think, Kak Gani? Is this the one you agreed on?
Oh yeah. Cindy have put the those video on YouTube, and okay, can you open that, Cindy?
The MP3.
Oh no, on the chat box. Let me open.
Yeah, I uploaded on YouTube, like unlisted,
Oh
just
yeah,
in
wait,
case. Yeah.
wait.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you play it, Cindy? Okay,
Okay.
I believe everyone can see it later after this. It's just 15 seconds, but here's the quick review for me, a quick feedback that I have uh, delivered to Audrey. So in this video, I think the ambience is just kind of like ready to take action. It's very suitable for vlog, like apa namanya, vlog jalan-jalan, not for meeting. That's my personal feedback, because okay, that video has a uh, active music, and then what's called, yeah, basically for the background music, it sounds like this is perfect for vlog instead of opening for meeting. And then I give suggestion to Audrey to perhaps find more inviting music, for more calming music, something like that. Yeah, something like that. That's my feedback so far.
Okay, thank you, Mas Gani. I'm just going to give a little note over here. I think later on, if you have to leave for something or you already made something, it's better if you link it over here so we know where to search for. Okay.
But I think it's
Okay.
it's a great innovation though. We never have this before, right? So if we can provide this content, I think it could give new experience for us, new experience for especially for employee. So everyone, if you have a start a meeting or all hands or weekly meeting in chapter. Perhaps this video can be show up first before meeting, in waiting for other people, and then everyone can feel the atmosphere, something like that, the feel the branding of the company. Yeah, I think that's good, apa namanya, good innovation out there that just need a bit more apa ya, suggestion. Yeah.
Okay. Mas Kenny, regarding your advice to put this before meeting and so on, who do you think is responsible to put the sonic the sound before meeting, or when should we started using it?
That's a good question. We doesn't have the framework yet for that.
And okay, Mr. Ching.
Let me actually enlighten this. We do have the framework for this, Gani. Let me show you guys where it is. The framework for this particular idea is actually part of the employee transformation framework, everyone. So I'll share my screen for a moment and just kind of begin there. So remember, when we talk about branding and copywriting, this is a chapter level discussion. So that applies across all the different squads, employee, guest, and also partner squad. So this is where we would use this particular framework, Gani, to actually identify where and how to place something like creating sonic environment for a particular thing, yeah, for a particular employee experience. So just take a look at here, and let's see where we can actually find it. What section of this pyramid, Gani, do you think it actually belongs to? Let's go to the category. Do you think that this is an awareness service, transformation service, or a maintenance service?
From my point of view, it is service number 5.
Yes, absolutely correct. Service number 5. So this is how we do our work here. This is a job service. Yes, very precisely identified. This goes into service number 5. And then what we would do then is this. I think if you go on Coda, there's a list of employee transformation services in the employee section. Wait, excuse me. So in the employee squad, they have a, let's hope they do have this actually.
Tabel of the services.
Yeah. So one of the services is definitely meeting structure, right? Personal updates. Let me see if I can find it. Meeting, biweekly SLA meeting. Maybe not that. Oh, okay. We don't have a service yet for how we do meetings, but this could be actually an inspiration to add that particular service into the because actually that's kind of obvious. We meet all the time, but it's it's so common, I guess, we don't actually even think of it as a service. So that's where you would add it. You would say, hey, look, this particular service can be improved by adding this particular quality to it. And we just need to find the owner of that particular service and ask them to start propagating the adoption and have this propagate outwards. That's where it's kind of located in a sort of a centralized way. But anyway, that's my 2 points. If you want to get this propagated around, why don't we start with all hands first? Okay, all hands is generally led, I think, by Shaylin and Vera, and you can go to them and say, hey, look, can you teach the next person who leads the all hands to use this particular new element? And that can be that can start kind of growing across the company.
Okay, so and I was thinking if it is as simple as putting at Coda, right? Just put the click play button just before meeting. Just click first. And then, okay.
Yeah, that's really good. Oh, by the way, what Gani just did was actually really specific to thinking about design thinking, right? Design the experience. So how can we make it such that it's easy to actually involve this element into the meeting? And there's nothing more easy than just play the button before the meeting, right? So you don't have to choose, you don't have to go around. So congratulations. Let's go ahead and try to get more of the company to adopt this and start seeing this layer of branding now appear across the inside. Yeah. And you can think of it also external meetings too, BVE talks, community talks, all these particular events. they don't have sound layers right now, but they can. And I think this is a good thing to start planning and getting this propagated out. So, Audrey, congratulations. You're making impact and you're changing the way that people are experiencing the Bukit Vista brand now, from guest partners and employees.
Okay, thank you everybody. That's an insightful discussion. And by the way, to Mas Gani, when will you start using the sound for all hands? And I think the all hands is not led by Shalin or Vera. It's not on the HR anymore. It's from we have different administrator every week. So
Okay.
okay, Mas
Uh,
Gani.
I expect we can start using it on next week, all heads. But I need to Audrey to a bit adjust about the sound and some, perhaps add more apa vision and mission, core values that you talk about previously. Yep. So
Mm,
can we have the revision on Friday or Saturday? Yes, yes, please. When you can deliver the next result, Audrey? Okay, okay, cool. So Saturday we will have some discussion, yeah, Audrey, yeah. Okay, cool.
oh, okay, Kak Wei, please tag Audrey and Kak Gani ya to have the revision on Saturday and to be inspected by the next scrum, or in the next all hands you can already use the audio, Kak.
Next all hand, please.
Next all hands to use the sound ya, Kak ya. Okay. Okay. So I will put this to done, but Kak Wei, please write a new dependency ya for Audrey and Kak Gani. Thank you. Okay. And the next one to Kak Nadia. And this has been rolled out since 10 January. I haven't seen Kak Nadia in this discussion. Is she still a part of this guild or no, actually, to Kak
Uh,
Gani?
I don't think so. Since on the PD we have shortage of apa namanya, shortage of uh, resource, and there is some apa namanya, important, so she need to prioritize better on the backlogs, something like that. So I think she's not part of branding, but what we can still apa namanya, coordinate with her outside this meeting.
Outside this meeting. So, is it okay if we give dependencies to her or we stop giving dependencies to her?
It's a bit quiet. Uh, right. Ideally, it's still give to her. Say.
We give to her, but yeah. For example, this one, we do not know the progress of this one. If she do not join our meeting, then how can we expect our her work?
Okay, perhaps delegate to others, yeah, to other person.
Okay, Mr. Ching, do you want to say something?
That's correct. Yeah. That's exactly where the conversation should have gone. I'll let you guys continue. Yep.
Okay, so Kak Gani, do you want to delegate this to who, Kak? This particular dependency.
Mm, okay, let me handle it at the moment, and I can have a quick coordination with Nadia to provide those and update the guideline. I think it's just quick sub discussion. It's not take too long. Yeah.
Quick sub discussion, or are you already able to complete the guideline for this YouTube? Or do you need
Complete
to
the
discuss more?
guideline.
To complete the guideline ya, Kak ya?
We already have the content. We already have the guideline, but it's not structured yet.
Okay. When this can be inspected, Kak? The
Okay.
completed guideline?
Next meeting, yeah. The
Next
9th February.
next meeting. Okay. Okay, Miss Secretary, please put the new due date ya for this one to Kak Gani. Okay. Thank you, Kak Wei. Okay. I guess we can move on to the next one. The further inspection of the new general principles of company brand guidelines. To Kak Gani, have you what's your update regarding this?
Hmm. Okay. Let's looking around, especially for person that use these tools as a brand guideline. For example, like I don't know, Kawe perhaps. Do you, when the last time you check this guideline, Kawe? Uh, we cannot hear you. Hello. Hmm.
I cannot hear.
Or
Okay,
or
but
perhaps yeah, perhaps from your side, Cindy, have you made content that based on this guideline?
yeah. Yeah, we've checked the guideline with the Journey at BV Instagram, and yeah, we found some differences between them. But
Okay.
one thing that I want to point out here is
Mhm.
regarding your um inspection, Kak, because the dependency is um about your inspection. What do you because you've delegated this particular um branding to different person, and what do you inspect from the current guideline?
As so far I checked, it's been complete, and I have moved it on the each sub pages as well. So that's why I asking around to the people, to the next person that use these tools, brand guide, and that's why I asking you and asking Kawe. So, when last time you create content and use this guideline, is it already clear to you, or is it still have some ambiguity? That's why and that's the way I inspect the work. I'm not inspect the tools, but I inspect the work. Yeah.
Yeah. But this one is not done yet, Kak.
Which one? Sorry, Cindy.
The I'm sharing my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The composition from Kak Nadia.
Oh,
This
okay.
one is
So
not
that
written yet.
okay, okay. Yeah, some of unit design have been not been complete yet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
okay. Yeah. Perhaps it can be a next dependency, Cindy, for me to complete apa ya, unit design that have been put it there. Yeah.
Okay. I've checked the other unit design and it's all complete, but we still miss this one, the composition. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
can we um change this to Kak Gani for
Okay.
the PIC?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Can.
Okay. And Miss Secretary, please tag Kak Gani ya. To under the inspection under here to to complete the composition guideline
Mhm.
and to be inspected in the
Okay.
next scrum. Okay. Okay. For the next one, this one. But here's what I think is missing.
Okay.
Uh, you usually have dependencies on conclusion, but in this discussion, we also have dependencies on background. Like in here, we use the checkbox, and it's kind of confusing. Where should we put the dependencies, on conclusion or on the background? To Kak Gani,
It's supposed to be on conclusion.
supposed to be on conclusion. Okay. Okay, so I guess this can be improved in the next meetings, yeah. So if you
Okay.
want to put dependencies, better to put it in the conclusion and not in background, because as we can see here now, people can reply under here and it's not very clear. I think it's better for us to use it
Mhm.
in the conclusion, yeah.
Okay. Wait. I need to ask. Who is the secretary last week? Yeah, I forgot. I'm sharing, but do you guys remember who is the secretary last week? Mm,
This
no.
is from
Maybe,
last week or
Sorry.
maybe
January
it's a sin,
26th.
or
Oh, Jocelyn.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. So perhaps this be need to be culture. Yeah. You spot correcting Cindy. This is not correct way we conduct the discussion. It's supposed to be on conclusion. Yeah. Thank you,
Yep.
Cindy, for putting that.
Okay. So we can continue to the next one ya. To the next dependency to Kak Gani, Kak W, and Jing to have the sub discussion on using the either by BV or by Bukit Vista. Who's gonna deliver this update?
Okay, for the meeting, it's done, and then okay, you can check this on that, and I think to Kak Wei where we can see the result, Kak Wei.
Yeah, this one mas. This one is the result. Where I have put
Oh,
the
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. I think that's good. That's the main idea. We can we put on the top 10 listing the highest views and put the Bukit Vista brand on it on the title. Okay. Thank you, Kak Wei.
Okay. So the result is by putting the Bukit Vista before the name of the villa ya, before the name of
Yeah.
the hotel.
I
Okay.
think Kak Wei have a question.
yeah, I have questions. So do we need to include it on our other listings as well? Now that
On the sorry, Kak Wei.
on the other listings, I mean this we I only use this on the top 10 listings, right?
Mhm.
Now do we need to use it on the others?
I think so. I just saw one of new listing that you created that way in the last 2 weeks. It's also get high views as well. Like Villa Tabanan, Villa apa di Ungasan. I've checked that. Okay, I think there's a good performance. Get a lot of interaction in the first launch, and I think it's also good opportunity for us. And for example, for Joglo Kawung, do you remember? Joglo Kawung get very high views in just a short time after launch. So I think it could put it on the other listing and put on the guideline as well, right?
Okay.
Okay. Yep, back to Cindy.
Okay. Mm-mm. To the guideline ya. When we can put this the new guideline? When can you update the guideline, Kak?
I can update the guideline today for the title.
Or the title on the guideline, yeah. And when can you finish to use the new guideline using the Bukit Vista before the name of the partner?
For all listings, I think I need time for that because it's a lot of listings, and because it's only 50 characters, so I need to like rethink again about how we fit the name and
Okay.
everything.
Don't worry, Kak Wei, about the amount of listing. Yes, we do. We have hundreds of listing, but I think you can start when on the SPO. And the SPO is focused on each property, right? So you can track for that. Okay. Today I do listing maintenance for Mi Villa. Okay, Mi Villa have 5 listing. Okay, so today I will working on Mi Villa first, and tomorrow other property. Tomorrow other. So don't worry about the hundreds of other listings. You can focus on each property.
Okay.
Okay. Kak We kindly take yourself ya to finish update the guideline and to adopt the guideline to use it under the SPO. Okay, Kak We? Okay. The next one. This is the top 10 listing is done ya, Kak We?
Oh, that one is
And one is
Or not yet?
it's actually done. It's the one that Mas Gani asked me to revise regarding the new listing, new description format, Mas. So
yeah.
the new was the most recent.
Okay, so you have been checked on 3 property, yeah?
Oh no, actually it's all 10, but the one that I checklist is the one that it's already
Oh, okay. Get it.
Oh.
So all of this list already follow the guideline.
Yep.
Okay, cool, cool.
Okay. Okay, for the next one, the latest description format should be put on the guideline. Oh, this is already last week's dependencies, yeah. Latest description. How about this description, Kak? What's this description about? Is still about the name of the villa or what?
Yeah, it's about the description, the new format, description format.
Description format. Oh, in Airbnb, yeah.
Yep.
Airbnb, yeah.
So it's already done.
Mhm. Okay. Kak Gani, have you inspect this one, the update?
Yeah, I inspect after this because after this we have a new structure of guideline. So we will create we will restructure guideline based on service, not based on asset that we have. That it is the resulting discussion with me and Mas Bayu yesterday. So yeah, after this I do inspection again. So yeah, don't worry, Cindy.
Okay. Okay, Kak, we kindly tag Mas Gani ya to inspect the new updated um, guideline. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, for the website, yeah, I think I'll deliver this. We've done, we have, sorry, we already update the slash jobs using the current guideline. I mean, our the color is not here, like it's not like this anymore. The language is we're using for English. And if you want to see, you can directly click in the bukitvista.com/jobs.
Okay, so the color
I'll,
are already updated, yeah, based on
mhm.
the color branding, and the language is also follow, also consistent. Okay, good.
Yep. Okay. Okay, then thank you. I'll move to the next one yet. The next discussion, the touch point of brandings. I remember that last week we have we three have dependencies to find three touch points that unbrand. And from Audrey, would you kindly deliver to us about this?
Okay, so the three touch points that I managed to found from partnership are the first one is tone and voice that might cause ambiguity when texting the partner, because it might it is actually a very mainstream issue when you text or communicate with partner via text, that it might cause like a different perceptions about wordings, and also delivering the delivering the main issue. So I think I need some help or maybe discussion about this, okay? Since I interact a lot with partners. And then copywriting should, the second one is copywriting should be implied towards partnership message. For example, maybe like when we try to ask them to like fill in like feedbacks or join a campaign, I think it will be more necessary if I can get help with someone, from someone who's advancing in copywriting. And then the last one is yeah, the one that we discussed earlier about the sonic branding can be used in project or event to leave impression about Bukit Vista's branding too, since I have this issue, I have this concern about, I um I'm not really sure whether all of our partners really know our background, and also like a company culture that way. I think we need to take care of this too. Maybe we can start to imply by the sonic branding, the one that I will go work with Mas Gani by the end of the week. Okay.
Okay, Mas Gani, do you want to say something?
Okay. Thank you, Audrey, for spotting these three touch point. Let's discuss one by one. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. First is tone and voice. Ambiguity texting with partner. It should be flexible, following the partner's persona. Where do you get this, Audrey?
Mm, I actually sub discussed this with Kasa,
Okay.
and I do realize that it happened when I am trying to ask for partners like schedule or like what happened with their
Mm,
property, like the basa-basi Indonesian thingy kan kak.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes they don't find it basa-basi and they ask me immediately like butuh apa mbak, and I was like, no, I just want to ask for you. I was just checking on you. I didn't mean to bother you at all that way.
Oh, so some partner doesn't like basa-basi. Some partner
Yeah.
just want to direct to the point. But
Yeah.
that one is one of uh, action that we provide to checking up to them. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so we keep still engaged. That's what you mean, Audrey.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Exactly.
we have to be flexible and we doesn't have one apa namanya fix branding on that ya.
Yeah, I think I need some help considering that gitu sih Mas.
Okay, okay. This one is yeah need to be discussed. It's pretty a bit complex as well. But what do you think, Mr. Zing, about this one? The way we communication with partners, it's not very fixed. We need to be flexible to them. What do you think about this, Mr. Zing?
That is a really, really deep discussion, actually, about the. It's actually a debate, I think, between. Okay, this is the way I'll frame it. Bayu and I often discuss about what is the strategy in terms of where the company wants to be. Do we want to be a celebrity or do we want to be an artist? Okay, so these are two different things. A celebrity tries to adapt themselves to give an image that their audience wants to see. So celebrity will, do whatever like it takes to get more viewership. Okay, an artist just kind of sticks to whatever they do, and they believe eventually when people understand what they're doing, then people will naturally accumulate around their art. So I think there's two ways about this. There's probably a balance somewhere, and these are the things we need to decide. What part of our brand is celebrity? What part of the brand is art? So let's say, for example, our tone, our playfulness. Should we change that depending upon who we talk to? Uh, Maybe not, right? Because then that would essentially change who we are. Maybe our partners need to understand, well, this is just the way we talk. And, otherwise, you kind of have like, what is your brand essentially? What do people really expect when they have an experience with you? So I think this one's a little bit tough, but here's how I would do it. Audrey, I would start breaking down all the touch points that we have with partners, starting from, let's say, the most impactful to the least impactful. Let's say, all right, where are partners generally getting the most amount of surface area with Bukit Vista? Are they coming in and they're reading our website? Are they reading our communications? Are they in the marketing proposal? Where exactly are the touch points along the user journey? Okay. So think of it this way. Think of it, you're designing a ride for a partner, okay? And think of your ride has maybe 10 stops along the way. What is in stop one, stop two, yeah. Okay, so there are some parts that probably can be more celebrity, perhaps upper funnel stuff, okay? Like awareness. You can probably go and adopt whatever's popular right now, keywords, trends that are popular in the outside world to get people's attention. But as you get closer and closer towards the end, I think you should adopt more of an artist type experience because you don't want that end experience to be too variance depending upon who it is. You kind of want to have a consistent experience. So most partners can say, Bukit Vista actually is this person. Because this is where your brand can confuse your community. If you are a different person to each particular member of your community, when your community has a discussion about you, they kind of, Bukit Vista is so serious. Oh no way, Bukit Vista is really playful to me. So you ideally you would want, let's say, maybe the first two stops can be a little bit more celebrity, but the next stops should be more like art. Okay, like what do you want to do? So I say this because there's also an implication here, which is who should have more power over time, right? Should it be data science, right? Because data science will tell us where we should go in terms of, okay, this works better than this, so we should use this, or this color works better than this color, so we should use that. Or should it be brand, right? It doesn't matter what color works better. This is our color, right? This is the color we always go with. So we don't change our color just because it could potentially get us a wider audience. So this, I think, is I don't have an immediate answer for this, but what will really help, Audrey, is to be able to break down the experience in terms of like, okay, what are your impact points and which points do you want to tune? Um, yeah, that's my best explanation for that. So yeah, that's it. That's it. That's I would say the here. You know what? Here's a thought process. Okay, here's a thought process. Which brand points are celebrity? Which brand points are artist? Okay, which are the ones that you never really want to change? Which are the touch points that can sort of be okay? We go with whatever the partner particularly. Yeah, that's how I would say it. Yeah. Mm. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Got it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the explanation, Mr. Jing. That's kind of fundamental, yeah, because we usually use guideline as our fundamental, and I think it's needed to be explained further on the guideline whether this can be a bit flexible or like really strict. Okay. To Mas Gani probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mas Gani.
I have two thoughts here. The first is the partnership squad have a guideline how to communication with partners. Do we have that? Is the community, is the CM have a guideline how to communication with partners? Audrey?
We do have Mas Gani, but it only stated like the fundamentals, like step by step,
Oh,
not how flexible and how much you can be compromised.
okay, so that's not really complete. Yeah, it's just very short. Okay, listen. The second thought is uh, perhaps we can start from the like Mr. Jing said, from awareness, what language, what tone we use, and then the second stop is conversion. How Nadine communicate with potential partners. How Nadine's apa namanya, do discussion with them. Is it too serious? Is it a little bit chill? And then we can follow that flow. You can follow the way Nadine's or Wayana communication with others, and that, yeah, make it a more consistent start from them. I think just that, Audrey.
Okay. Okay. So for this one, do you, Audrey, do you think you need a sub discussion? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Considering my dependency and workload right now, I think I will put this into I don't know. I prefer to kind of pending this first, since I don't really see the high urgency. I mean, I can still compromise with it, and I will put the sub discussion maybe later on with the community, the CM, and also, yeah, since my third point, the sonic branding, is already have this sub discussion, I think I will put that as the uh what is it, as the first thing to do first, then. Yeah.
Okay. So for the first two, the tone and voice and the copywriting, your next action is to have sub discussion, but later on we cannot see the result yet.
Yeah, I would like to put it on pending first, since yeah, I have some other things to do, and also I will discuss it with the upcoming new CM by next week. whether we can delegate this or not gitu.
Okay. Okay, Kak Wei, please take Audrey under here to have the sub discussion with the CM team regarding the tone and voice and the copywriting. Okay, Kak Wei. The next one also from Kak Wei. Do you have any update regarding this?
Yeah, this is from about Sonic branding first because I think it should have been more flexible because especially in social media or in Instagram because there is not only one occasion for video or Instagram reels. Like yesterday, I used a Chinese New Year music background because I upload Instagram reels about Chinese New Year. So I think why it should have been more flexible. And the second one is copywriting. So I see that in our Bukit Vista's Instagram, the copywriting is very inconsistent because there is a caption in English, but also there is caption in Indonesian. So I think we have to decide whether to use English or Indonesian. And then the third one is the for photography because we try to use this cover for Aurelia residents. I know that it might be used because we what make this post as an Instagram ads. But what do you think if we start to use this kind of post? Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So for the Sonic branding, yeah, I also do agree that it should be more flexible. And have you put this flexibility on the guideline, Kak? Like, I think we also need to like explain further like how flexible, because we also do not want our Sonic branding to be unbrand. Do you have any thoughts on this, Kak Gani?
I think um, to make it simplify and fundamental for any others Instagram reels music, we can refer to that outrageous discovered previously is a full theme, something like that, yeah. But in other occasion, specifically for Chinese New Year or the next is apa Hari Lebaran, something like that, we can make it following the trend. Okay. So for the general, how we can say ya, for general apa namanya general video, we can refer to Sonic branding from Audrey. But for specific days, specific occasion, we can make it flexible and follow the occasion. I think just that to make it simple.
Okay, so the flexibility will depends on the event ya, Kak Gani ya?
Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay, okay then. Kak Wei, please take yourself to add to update the guideline to use it flexible depends on the event. Who just raised their hand? Sorry.
That was me actually,
Okay.
Cynthia. So let me share my screen actually and kind of give us a little update. So this is actually a really important moment, everybody. We have actually gone into another cycle again. Okay, remember the Amazon cycle, right? Tool, adoption, inspection. So after inspection, by way, we've noticed that perhaps the tool that we have, which are the Sonic guidelines that Audrey explained, might not be sufficient, right, to cover certain situations. Is it appropriate to use that particular sound in every particular circumstance? Okay, and these are things that you need to start thinking about in terms of defining the guideline. So, what is a guideline, and how do you make a good guideline? So, let me kind of show you how I would frame it. Okay, so I'm just going to use Jamboard here and create a new sort of um, space here. Okay, so I want you to think of, let's say, okay, this is kind of like a math principle, right? So think of like essentially what is the space a guideline can take up, okay? Let's say um, maybe there are certain things that we want to divide the space, okay? Let's say this is happy, I don't know. Let's say this is happy music, this is sad music, okay? Let's just say wait. It's probably two sides. This is sorry, I'm actually losing myself here. Let me start over. Okay, let's say, for example, you're going to create a guideline. The first decision you need to make is what are the boundaries of your guideline? For, let's say, sonic branding, what are the two, let's say, components that we can think about? Maybe we can think of it as two sides, right? Maybe one side is mood. Okay, what kind of mood do we want to come across? And the second side is maybe the relevancy in what relevant ways do we want to create it. The simple way is you create a single boundary. You say, all right, this is essentially how I want the mood, this is how I want the relevancy. But what you notice after time is perhaps there are certain instances where you need more conditions. So this is where you kind of need to create another space in your guideline. So you create a boundary condition. What is the boundary in this particular side? What is the boundary in that particular side? What I think Audrey had done was this at first. So when she created her guideline, she created a single point. She said, this is the sound that we're going to use. However, that isn't a perfect guideline because then we lose the particular combination of things that we can start putting in. So it needs to, a proper guideline needs to be a little bit more like, okay, what is the line on this side that defines what is actually encompassing that sound right there? But what are the other boundaries that we don't want to cross over? Okay. So when you think of guidelines, try to think of it that way. It cannot be a particular point because a particular point might lose the relevancy. Okay, let me use another concrete example. I think everyone can see the Bukit Vista brand right here, right? They see it in this room that we're having a meeting in. So let's say that's the only way the brand should be seen. The only way the brand should be seen is in these three colors on a white background, okay? What happens if we want to be printed in a black and white magazine? So then the brand kind of, what do we do, right? What happens if we want to create merchandise that has a black background, right? What color should we use then in that particular case? So this is where you need to start kind of thinking about like, okay, we might need to improve the tool a little bit. So when you think of a sonic brand, it's a little bit like the voice of the brand, right? It's a little bit like, okay, what are the tonal qualities? So we need to break that down into its elements and say, all right, these tones are definitely within the range. These tones are not. I'm not an expert on sound, but maybe one of you are. Maybe somebody has actually studied music and they know, sort of like what the boundaries of music are, and we can define that better. But this is actually why we have this discussion. We're really looking for what are the boundary lines to understand where the brand is, because the actuality is the brand can be anywhere within these boundaries and still be on brand. But we just need to say, all right, these are essentially what guidelines are. They're the lines that denote what is relevant and what is not relevant. Okay. So anyways, this is an important point that we come across. And I just want to identify that so that we know. Now, I think it's up to Audrey now to actually think now deeper about the seasonality and perhaps what other types of music might still be on brand, but don't sound exactly like that particular little snippet that we have heard. Gunny brought up the point about meetings. Perhaps meetings kind of, maybe that's not so relevant, but there are other instances where it could be more relevant. Okay. All right. I'm done with this explanation. I'll let go back to the Cindy as a chair.
Okay, thank you for the explanation, yeah, Mr. Ching. And okay, let me share my screen again. Okay. Wait, I'm kind of still confused. Regarding this new guidelines, do we need to refine our guideline or
Yes.
what?
In this particular case, well, let's decide as a group. Okay. Uh, is it appropriate to have only one sound for Bukit Vista in every particular situation? Audrey already shook her head, right? Let's let Audrey ask.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ching, for the input. Actually, the one that I uploaded already and we watched previously is like only the sampling. I put it as sampling, so later on, if it will be used like in some special occasion, let's say maybe Chinese New Year, Easter, or Lebaran, and so on, it can be compromised. But the vibe or maybe the ambience that I am targeting is like the one based on the pool party. So
Ah,
yeah, so yeah, so later on, that will be used maybe more like to the partnership and to the guests, and the one that will be implied in the employee. I do agree with Mas Gani that we will discuss it later by this weekend
yep.
to find the other one that is more appropriate.
Excellent, excellent. I think you got it. So here's the thing then, Audrey, we need to consider, and also Cindy as well. How do you then break down a song so that it is essentially similar, right, to the theme, to the tone, to the feeling of the song that we have? Now, maybe you can break it down into things like the beats per minute, this becomes like wine tasting, right? So when we drink wine, it's just like it's wine, right? But when you listen to like wine tasters, they break it down into body, into top notes, into aroma, into mouthfeel, into, is it linear? Does it have like the same taste throughout the entire experience? Or does it kind of draw? So those become like the way that we critique the music and we're able to then break it down. So I don't know how to do that, but Gunny, very good idea. How do other companies actually set forth music guidelines, and what attributes are they looking for in that sonic branding? Okay. So I think that is a sub discussion that can happen, and perhaps Wei, you can also add your input because you're the client in this particular case. You have a feeling that this guideline isn't working to your purpose, and your drive to actually expand that, I think, is what initiates the next iteration of innovation to happen.
Okay. Regarding this sonic guideline, we still need to have another sub discussion, yeah. And regarding the beats per minute and something, I don't know if this will help or not, but I realized that Kak Bayu, our CTO, is graduated from music school. Uh, just in case if he can help, I don't know how can he help, but probably he can help about the music thing, yeah. We can just invite him to our next sub discussion. Okay, Mr. Jing.
I want to point out something. I'd like to recognize Cindy for this. Okay, this is actually a really, really good example of collaborative leadership. So, collaborative leadership means this: you keep in touch in your mind who's good at what. Okay, who is actually an expert in what particular field? Because oftentimes, and Gunny, you did that too, right? So I'd like to recognize Gunny as well. Oftentimes, without I think it requires a humility as well to actually realize I'm not the expert on this. I should probably seek an expert on this to actually do the work well. So Gani's thought, okay, is there a way we don't need to reinvent the wheel? Has another company done it? And Cindy has realized that there is an expert within the company. This is really good discovery and prioritization, and it leads to the formation of more collaborative, more excellent results. So good job on actually getting that recognition and understood. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Mas Gani. And to Miss Secretary, please tag Kak Gani, Mr. Ching, Audrey, and also Kak Bayu, yeah, for having the next sub discussion regarding the sonic branding. Okay. The next one for the copywriting. Do you also need a sub discussion to decide whether use English or Indonesia, or you just want to decide Kak Win?
Okay, Mas Tiji.
Quick one. Okay. It doesn't matter, I think, in this particular case, everyone. Okay. If you think of a brand that's global, Coca-Cola is a really good example. Coca-Cola brands themselves differently in every country. You look at their logo, and in Saudi Arabia, they use Arabic, and China, they use Chinese, and Thailand, they use Thai, and it's okay. So a brand can actually speak in different languages. However, we just need to be very precise which particular languages are relevant to which particular channels. So, for example, Snapchat is very, very popular here in the United States. It's used by almost all the millennials and a lot of the Gen Zs. So you should probably use English if you're going to Snapchat. Okay. Instagram, maybe it's a mix. You have some English speakers, some Indonesian speakers. Uh, TikTok, I don't know, maybe global as well. But you have to decide which particular channel to focus on. And generally speaking, yeah, if you want that audience to really grow, you should stick to the particular channel that they're comfortable in. Traveloka, okay, mostly is Indonesian guests. But now that I think about it, Traveloka listings are mostly written in English, right? Am I right? Am I crazy here, or did anybody use Traveloka recently? Is it right?
Depends on language settings, sir.
Oh, okay. All right, right, correct. Okay, it depends on language setting. So in that case, I think two things here. Sometimes the OTA automatically adjusts. That's why, like on Airbnb, you can put in Bahasa Indonesia, French, English, German. You can put in whatever languages you want. So it will essentially use that face to show whatever you've written to the person who has set that language setting. So the German speaker would see your German, copywriting and so on and so forth. So I think in this particular regard, you can keep multiple languages, but just be very conscious of what your main target audience is on that particular platform. Okay, and as long as you do that, you should be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ching. And for the last one, I'm going to be quick here since we're running out of time. Okay. So I've realized that the most title of journey at with Instagram is using the link Spartan font. Is this okay, Kak Gani?
Um, I think it's based on what this is. Yeah. As long as language Spartan font, I think it's similar to our second font, right? Apa Contrail
Contrail
One.
one.
The second is apa namanya itu? Hin
So
Guntur
Sans Pro.
Sound Sans Pro. I think Sound Sans Pro with language Spartan it's a bit similar. So from my side, I think it's still okay lah. As long as it's consistent, Cindy.
Oh yeah, okay. It's consistent because we've been using it since MBKM, Kak.
Okay.
And the inconsistent logo placing, I've decided with Bila that we're going to use the upright. And for the partners, I think this can be also be thing ya. Do we need example on how to do the copywriting in Bahasa Indonesia?
Okay, how to do copywriting. Oh, for partners,
On
do
the
you think it's for educational institution?
No. For the partner side, because I've been working with Kak Tendi and he's kind of lost about how to do the copywriting in Bahasa Indonesia for partners blog.
Oh, partners. Oh, I see. Okay. That could be some discussion, Cindy, because we have been belum decide sih itu.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. For the last part, can you scroll very top, Cindy? Okay, this is just exercise for us. I know this is supposed to be for the awareness chapter, but here I'd like to make an exercise for everyone on this branding team in order to be inspirational company for 3 different users. So we need to be able to provide like unrecognized needs. Let's just start with the brainstorming first. Start from partners. Partners, we have Feby and Audrey here. So let's find out and put yourself as a user, as a villa owners. Can you mention 5 reasons why you need to partner with us? Just from your perspective as a user. Okay. And the second is for guests. We have Kak Wei here. Just put yourself as a user, as a travelers. Can you mention 5 reasons why you need to stay with Bukit Vista? Why you book our property with Bukit Vista? And the last one, employee, we have Cindy and Zubran here. So can you put 5 reasons why you need to work at Bukit Vista? This is just exercise because like a previous discussion with Mas Bayu, we will start changing the framework a little bit. We are not focusing on each asset that we have, but we start provide the service based on user. So I think when we have this reason, I think we will continue. So we have apa ya namanya? Is our works have meaningful to the user or not? That's the core of this exercise. So yeah, I think I hope this is will continue to the next meeting so we can discuss this.
Okay. To Mr. Ching.
I have two things to say. One, Gani, I think that's very, very powerful leadership. That is an excellent visionary way to actually guide the direction of this chapter, and that's brilliant. So congratulations on that. That's thinking next level here, and it really pulls out the maximum creativity of the team. And speaking of maximum creativity, I have an idea, and I'd like to actually challenge. I know I'm over time, but I'd like to just share my screen real quick and share this new tool that I think is perfect for brainstorming. And let me demonstrate how it works. Okay, so this is a framework for how to brainstorm and prioritize ideas, and it starts here with stage one. So defining what the problem statement is. Gani has already put down some structure for what the problem statement is. Okay, the next step is to have everybody just kind of like go here, put your name and what is your idea, right? So you can say this is reason number one why partners should choose BV, right? So we start activating these cards here, and this is where you can brainstorm. After you brainstorm, we move on to the second arena is where we start grouping the different ideas. What group belongs to partner, what group belongs to guest, what group belongs to such and such. But then the last step is where we can prioritize. We can prioritize in what is important and what is actually feasible and start actually then having that type of discussion. I think that this tool can simplify and amplify the effectiveness of our brainstorming discussion. And I would invite everybody to use it in the next session so that we can quickly look on it and start sorting it out. And it'll go really quickly instead of, kind of like losing track of ideas. So I've shared the link in this particular section, but what I will also ask the secretary to do is if you can copy that link and just say, tag everybody on it and say, please use this tool for our brainstorming. I think we can actually effectively brainstorm and do two things really quickly, the discovery and the prioritization. And then after that, we can move to solving the problem and actually executing. Sound good? Okay.
Okay. To Mr. Ching, kindly copy the link, yeah, and put it in the chat. Okay. Since we have no more discussion and we're over time, I think we can close this meeting right here. And thank you everyone for joining this meeting, and see you next week.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.